Good afternoon, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm very happy that we are invited, but I'm quite sad that our Mayor Tommy Osmeña, cannot join us today because he has a very important meeting to attend. But anyway, I'm here. In the invitation that I received, there are 8 topics that I'm supposed to discuss, and since in the interest of time we have only 10 minutes, what I'm going to do is to discuss the 3 and of the 8, and no, the 6, but the 2 will be discussed a little bit in detail. The first actually is in the BUB, that's the bottom up budgeting. This is a way of encouraging citizens to participate. In Cebu, we have done this, but the problem is the implementation. Well, it's not an assurance that the budget or the projects that's being there, that's being discussed and approved, is not a guarantee that the project would be undertaken. The second one is the poor peace. This is Pantawid Pamilyang Filipino program. The objectives of this are social assistance and social development. I would like to share it with you that Cebu City, in particular the 80 barangays, have already undertaken this, and we're very happy that there are so many beneficiaries. Again, there are so many which are happy, but there are so many too which are very sad because they are not included. Now, my my idea here is that the poor peace, though it has a very noble idea, it is used as a political tool because the barangay captains are the one who are supposed to appoint or to verify who are the beneficiaries, and that if the beneficiaries are found out not to be allied with the barangay captains, they will be taken out from the list. That's a problem. The third thing is about electoral reforms, and there were about 3 topics about this one. It's dynasty law, and I don't think, for me, I don't think this would be approved. And if this would be approved, I don't think this would be implemented, because take note that the one who make the laws and interpret the laws are the politicians itself. So how can this be implemented well? The other thing is the campaign finance reform. In the election, in this election law, there is a certain amount, the amount of 1 peso per voter. Cebu has about 600,000 voter, meaning to say you're allowed only 600,000 pesos. And they were saying that there is an election or a campaign transparency law. Okay, so how can there be a transparency where you're actually mandated to only give to only have 600,000? Okay, the other thing is the party reform. The party reform, if I have to say, I would suggest, for me, in my personal note, there would be 2 party only. However, I would be more supporting on federalism. Okay. 5 is the youth empowerment through access of quality education and jobs. I am going to inform you that since 2009, the Cebu City government, through the leadership of the former Mayor Tommy Osmeña, we have a program that all graduates of high school from public schools, we are giving them 10,000 pesos as scholarship. And the next platform of Tommy Osmeña, that the graduates from public schools will be given 100,000 each per year. And the action of anti-discrimination, again, I'm happy to share with you that there is already an ordinance, okay, prohibiting discrimination in the city of Cebu on the basis of age, health, sexual orientation, and gender, and identity and religion. Then, action against HIV. There is a very strange program in the city government together with the Department of Health and the World Health Organization that we are giving free sirens to drug addicts. Okay? Now, these are the things, but I'm going to have I have, I'm going to discuss about the two items, the agriculture and climate change. Sure. Oh, 10 minutes. Okay, there's no problem. Agriculture. Cebu has a population of 850,000. And Cebu is very progressive. And behind this progress, 33% is in poverty. And I would like to stress that 60% to 70% of the agriculture produced, supposed to be the agriculture or the vegetables and fruits that we have in Cebu, are actually imported. 40% even um, we get vegetables from Australia. Okay? Now, in the case, in 2013, when I started being the fourth term, I made a resolution asking the city government that the common areas in the city of Cebu should be planted with edible plants. For the first few months, it was very successful, and right now, it's not, it's not there anymore. So what I'm trying to do now, which actually it's there in the third reading, I am proposing or making an ordinance that the common areas in the city of Cebu should be planted with edible plants. And for the private lands, okay, this would be converted, which are not used, this should be converted into gardens. If they are not going to do that, they will be penalized. And if they're going to do that, then they're going to give incentives. The other thing that I have sponsored, a resolution which I have sponsored, is actually banning all GMO products and making GMO, genetically modified organisms, meaning to say seeds, banning all of those and making and putting a model farm, of organic farm in the north and the south district. Okay, these are all in agriculture. The second thing is the climate change. Now, the biggest threat of humanity right now is the climate change, and we must do something. In my own capacity, I have made a house which is a model of what we call as a climate change adaptation. What I'm trying to do here is this. There are a few things I'm trying to do. 60% of the greenhouse gases all over the world is caused by energy and transportation. So in the city government, I have made an ordinance to reduce the electrical cost of the city government street lights to 50%, because energy is actually used in order to put on the lights. In the city of Cebu, we have 27,000 lighting fixtures in the streets, and we're paying about 11 million per month. And because of the new technology, which we call as LED, I made an ordinance to convert all sodium lights and HID lights to LED. So meaning to say, reducing the wattage from 250 watts into just 110 watts. In so doing, the wattage or the power went down, and that the energy cost will be going down 50%. If this would be implemented in the city of Cebu, take note that there is about 1,900 cities and municipalities all over the Philippines. If we can implement this, this is a very good project all over the Philippines, bringing down the cost and at the same time bringing down the energy and of course the carbon footprint. The other thing is, we are, as the chairman on the Committee on Transportation, we are supporting the BRT. In fact, Tommy Osmeña as the one bringing the idea of the BRT, the Bus Rapid Transit. Hopefully, in 2018, this would now be running in the city of Cebu from Bulacau, going to Ayala, from Ayala, going to Talamban, and going back. The other thing is this. The city government especially in the council, is supporting the renewable energy. In that sense, as the chairman of the Committee on Energy, I have made an ordinance. Meaning to say, there is an ordinance now in the city of Cebu to install net metering. What is net metering? A net metering or a net meter is a device, okay, that will monitor the power that you get from the utility or vehicle and the power that you get from your solar panels. And in this case, like me in my house, I am the first net meter customer in the whole Visayas and Mindanao. And you will notice that there will be times that the utility pays me. Meaning to say, I'm not the one paying the utility, but instead the utility pays me. Normally, they pay me about 2,500 pesos a month. Now, lastly, I am advocating for the renewable energy because as we understand that energy is the one that giving a lot of carbon footprint. So that's why I am advocating that we Cebuanos would put in the solar system in our house. If we will be elected, we will be putting the first solar highway in Cebu City or in the province of Cebu. We started from Puente Osmeña, going to City Hall, going to SRP. And the second one is we will be putting the solar system at the top of the City Hall as a source of power supply. And lastly, there are about 80 barangays all over the city. We will be putting solar panels on each barangay. Thank you.